Do you know your handmade closure can actually turn out like this one right here? Watch till the end and let's find out how. My name is Confidence Lowell, a hair subject matter expert. I'm right here to give you tips on how to achieve flawless braided wigs and hair wigs. Hello, my lovely people. Welcome back to my channel. Once again, I want to say a very big thank you to all of you, to you that is watching for the very first time, and to you that saw my video for the very first time and yet decided to subscribe. I am grateful. You've done me a huge favor. Thank you very much. So today, without wasting your time, let's jump right into what brought us here today. This is a T closure net. You know what a T looks like, yeah? This is a T closure net, and we will be ventilating this together. So grab your drink, sit down, relax, and go through this journey with me. So this is me showing you direction on this net. This net is quite versatile in direction, and your closures will lay in the direction you want it to lay. So at the very back, we will be ventilating in between the holes. Okay, what I showed you the last time in my last video were across the vertical lines. But at this point, in that video we did not ventilate the backside, so I want to show you how to achieve your back first of all. All right, so we'll be ventilating in between the holes but using the diagonal line as a guide. I don't know how, if I really want to go into explaining this video, like explaining, we will not leave here today. All right, so it's going to be a little fast, and I could not even finish. I cannot finish the entire closure look because the video is already too long. We are going to do another one. But I just want you to notice what I'm doing. Just follow me, and let's sail this boat together. You notice I do not see you. If you want your closure to give you a very natural look, first of all, you don't want that square ventilation that you have been doing. And then even when you're following this my pattern, you want to make sure you're walking in between the lines. That is, after you finish one line, the next line in front should fall in between the previous lines. I don't know if I'm explaining very well, but just watch what I'm doing. At some point, I'm going to go slow mo so you really get to see what I'm doing clearly. I just want you to watch what I'm doing at this back. You see what I'm doing? I'm forming what should cover my back. So you notice that I did not end where the last one ended, right? You go one or two lines ahead depending on the space you have left that you will use to sew your closures down. And also make sure that the space you're keeping at the back is not squared. If you're following a diagonal line, you cannot have squared shape at the back. It's going to be kind of should I say oval somewhat. So now I'm extending the line. Just watch. If I'm explaining too much, you might even get confused. I don't do the regular closures, so you need to pay attention to understand what I'm doing. At this point, I am no longer walking in between the holes using a diagonal line as my guide. I am now walking across the vertical lines. I am now walking across the vertical line. That's, you have one vertical line, you have one hole at the back, and you have one hole in front. So I am passing my net from one hole across a vertical line, and then I bust it out in the other hole in front and ventilate. And the same rule applies wherever you're ventilating. Make sure after one line, the next line should fall in between the previous ones. Am I understood? Don't worry, just walk with me, and at some point, like I promised, we're going to go very slow and you'll get to see what exactly I'm talking about. Let me not talk too much. Let me give you time to watch. I'll be explaining, I'll be giving you detailed explanations as we go along the line. All right, now this is what I'm talking about. You see that I have a straight line, and then you put in one hole, bring it out in the other side across the straight line, and pull it out. This pattern can work for your full lace. Is it Olivia? Sorry, I would come back to the previous video and refer you to this video. That's if you do not get notified. Notice these lines are on your full lace nets, they are on your frontals, they are on your closures, they are on everything called lace, these straight lines. And all you need to do is to choose where your hair will face and walk in that direction, whether it's a full lace, whether it's a frontal, whether it's a closure, whatever it is. Now, another thing you want to pay attention to is that on the opposite side of your nets that you have been ventilating, you should use the same direction. That is, what you did here, if your pin was facing down while you're ventilating the back side, the left hand side, when you get to the right hand side, your pin should also face down. If it's facing up, when you're going to the other side, your pin should also face up. That way, you have hairs that are directed to a particular direction, and they are going to stay put. You don't need to stress yourself flattening them afterwards. Now, when you're ventilating, you ventilate on one line, skip one line, and ventilate on the next line. But when you get to your parting, if you don't want your parting to be too spacious, you don't want to skip that one line. You just want to ventilate in the next line in front of the last line you just ventilated. Am I understood? Okay, and then you want to also make sure it's in between. Now we're done with the back. Let's come to, it's a T closure I told you, and a T closure should give you the shape of a frontal, right? This is me showing you the direction, the power of direction on this net. One, my pin was facing down, and the other, my pin was facing up. But the one my pin was facing down is the one we're going to be using, and that's what you see me doing here. All right. So because it's a T frontal, a T closure, it has wings. So we want to try to we want to ventilate our wings inwards and then connect it to our back side. I don't want the video to be too long. This video is going to have a second part. As a matter of fact, I did not put the finished look of this closure in this video. So we're going to do another video to capture the finished look, and you see what it looks like. But in the meantime, while you're waiting for the finished look, I hope that you save this video, watch it over and again, practice it, and come back and tell us what exactly were your challenges, what you found helpful, what you battled with, and we'll sort it out together. All right. So this is how far we've come on the wing. Notice that the front is block, but even in this blockness, it's still better off the usual closures you have from our local ventilators. I'll put up a short picture, an image showing you what the normal ventilation from our local ventilators look like. All right, look at the next image and you will see what it looks like. Compare it with what you just saw and what you see next. See those lines? It shouldn't be in front. You should not have those ash lines in front. But even as natural as our closure looked, I still want to fade out to the front to give you a more natural look. So let's see, what do? Go after two lines. After two lines, go to the next line that you did not ventilate on, pick it, keeping two holes as your space, right? And then come back and pick half line, another line in between that is lower than the other two. Jesus Christ. Just watch what I'm doing. After two lines, now we have straight lines here. So just go after two lines. The next line that you did not ventilate on, pick it. Yeah. And then go back and pick another line in between those two to form your natural look. You can finish with this and do another one. It just makes the front of your closure look very natural and not bulky. All right, so this is it for this. Now we want to see how to connect these wings to the back, and that will mark the end of our video. I'll come back with the second part, and then I'll come back with the second pattern, a more advanced pattern of ventilating for masters. I hope you find this video very helpful. I'll see you right in our next video.